Hallo und herzlich willkommen bei Coco Cooking Connects,
dem Podcast, der Menschen aus Kiel an einen gemeinsamen Tisch bringt.
Ich bin Patti
Und ich bin Ann-Christine. Gemeinsam begleiten wir euch durch spannende Kochgeschichten, inspirierende Begegnungen und persönliche Gespräche.
Bei Coco kochen zwei Menschen ein typisches Gericht ihrer Heimat, jeweils eine Person mit und eine ohne Fluchts- oder Migrationserfahrung.
In der heutigen Folge treffen sich Chriso aus Deutschland und Sarah aus Ägypten, um über Comfort Food zu sprechen, also die Gerichte, die uns ein Gefühl von Wärme, Geborgenheit und Wohlbefinden schenken. Die beiden erzählen, welches Essen sie bevorzugen, wenn es besonders gemütlich werden soll und was diese Speisen für sie besonders macht. Diese Folge wurde auf Englisch aufgenommen, da Sarah sich in dieser Sprache am wohlsten fühlt. Für alle ZuschauerInnen auf YouTube gibt es jedoch auch deutsche Untertitel.
Kochen verbindet. Es schafft Raum für Austausch, Neugier und Verständnis.
Coco ist ein Projekt von Kultur Grenzenlos e.V., einem Kieler Verein, der seit 2015 Begegnungen fördert.
Mit Coco laden wir euch ein, Teil dieser offenen, vielfältigen Community in Kiel zu sein. Bei uns geht es um echte Verbindungen.
Gefördert wird das Projekt vom BAMF, dem Bundesministerium für Migration und Flüchtlinge.
Also, Schürze an, Ohren auf und herzlich willkommen bei Coco Cooking Connects.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome to Coco, the Cooking Connects podcast.
We're so happy to be here today. I'm Sarah,
Hi, I'm Chriso.
and our topic for today will be about comfort food. My name is Sarah, and I'm coming from Egypt. I'm 30 years old, and cooking is my passion, but it's not my job. And I moved to Germany 1 year ago with my husband. And this is your turn.
Okay. Hi, I'm Chriso. I'm 31 years old. I come from Germany. I lived here my whole life. I also love food. It's not really my passion, but I love making it, and I love it even more to eat it. I think we'll have some different food presentations today here
Yeah.
regarding our topic, comfort food. But
Yeah, we will definitely.
yeah,
And
sure.
most importantly, we will have fun together.
I hope so.
Yep.
I guess so.
All right, so let us start with some questions and answers.
Yeah, some either ors. Shall
Yeah.
I start?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, the first one is candlelight or fireplace.
Candlelights. Definitely candlelights for me.
Okay.
For you.
For me, I think it's fireplace because candlelights is more normal. I can
Yeah.
turn on or put on a candle, but I don't have a fireplace. So for me, a fireplace is more special.
Yeah, maybe. Let me pick up another one. Okay, what we have. Oh, homemade comfort food or takeout.
Oh, depends on my mood, but I think the better feeling or better result is homemade comfort food.
Okay.
I can appreciate it more.
Yeah, more cozy.
Yeah, definitely. And for you, what do you like better?
I go definitely for comfort homemade food because I will make it myself. But whenever I don't have the passion to cook, I would definitely go for a takeout.
Yeah. I mean, there are really good options.
Yeah.
Okay. A rainy day inside or sunny autumn walk?
Sunny autumn walk for sure.
Yeah.
I'm coming from Egypt and it's
Yeah.
sunny all over the year.
Okay,
So
yeah.
it's, yeah. And you?
If I apply that logic, I'm from Kiel, so
Yeah.
it would be the rainy day.
Yeah.
But no, actually, no, it's of course the sunny autumn walk with my wife,
Yeah, should
and
be.
my dog.
Yeah.
A little goat.
Yeah. Alrighty. Reading a book or watching a movie?
Lately, reading a book. I got more into reading books again, finally.
What are you reading now?
I just finished Ewald Arends. Yeah, it's the author. It's a very cozy book. It's called Alte Sorten, so it's old types. Don't know.
Okay.
It's a very cozy book that also takes place in late summer, beginning of autumn.
Yeah.
on a more rural area, and it's just fun to read and cozy to
Nice.
read. So it was in the last my holidays. So I was a very good
Nice.
time reading it.
Yeah. I hope you're enjoying it.
Yes.
Okay.
Should I take
You-
one more?
Yeah.
Blanket or sweater?
If I'm sitting on my sofa, definitely a blanket. Otherwise, if I'm outside of my house, it will be a sweater. But inside
Yeah,
my
makes
home,
sense.
yeah, inside the house itself, it should be a blanket. Definitely
Yeah,
gives warmth and coziness.
I think so too.
And for you,
For me, the same,
Yeah.
and also blanket because you can cuddle underneath.
yeah,
With the sweater, it's pretty hard. You need
Yeah.
a very large sweater.
it is.
Okay.
This
So
would be maybe the last
the last one,
question.
yeah. Yeah, good.
What do we have here? Tea with spices, chai, or hot apple cider?
I think I've never had hot apple cider.
Really?
No.
But you had chai before? Because
Yeah, sure. I had. Um, when I have the opportunity, I would go with a hot apple cider because I don't know it and I'm curious
yeah,
to get to know new things.
okay,
So I think I would choose that one. And for you?
100% tea.
Okay.
100% tea because we're also famous for our tea,
Mhm.
and Egyptians in general drink tea a lot.
Is it black tea or what is it?
Black tea,
Yeah.
yeah. And my favorite is tea with milk. It's top notch.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Shall we continue
Yeah.
with the main topic of today? Speaking
Yeah.
of comfort food,
What is your comfort food?
I think comfort food in general is something that makes a bad day good and a good day even better. Something that makes you just feel better, be it because it reminds you of something, of your childhood, of some old friends or your family. So it's just something that makes you feel better. That's my
Yeah.
approach to comfort food somehow.
Yeah, I
How do
totally
you
agree.
see it? What arises in your mind?
I would say the same, but for me, and especially because I'm living far away from my home.
Oh yeah.
So comfort food is a really important thing for me. It's whatever reminds you of your home, your family, your friends, your gatherings, everything. It gives you warmth, and it moves away the homesickness
Mm, yeah.
feeling. It's important to have comfort food, not just because it's comfy and it's easy to make, or like it's could be like a 30-minute meal or something. No, but for me it's important because it puts a lot of memories in one dish, and
Oh yeah.
yeah,
And it
it should
makes you
be.
feel home somehow, right?
Yeah.
That so it serves as a connection to your home somehow,
Yes,
probably.
a connection, warmth, coziness.
Yeah. Especially
A
important
lot of
in
things.
the season right now.
Yeah.
I mean it's the start or beginning of autumn. It's getting rainy, it's getting cold.
Yeah. You have to have a warm meal.
Yeah, you really should.
Yes.
You really should. Okay, speaking of comfort food, what is the comfort food that you brought with you today?
Actually, there are a lot, but specifically today, I would love to introduce bechamel pasta or macaroni bechamel. This is how we call it in Egypt, or macaroni bechamel, whatever it is.
Yeah.
What's yours?
Mine is a spicy pumpkin soup.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's the autumn.
It is. It is. It was the first thing when I heard about the topic, it was the first thing I thought about. So I looked outside, it was cold, not rainy, but close to rainy.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, yeah, comfort food. And you can, or I associate warmth and coziness with comfort.
Yeah.
So especially a spicy, hot, I mean, mildly hot, pumpkin soup is the perfect thing for that, I think, because you can also share it with people. It's easy to make somehow,
Yeah,
and food is something social.
it is.
So it's also a thing that you can prepare with a lot of people parallel together
Yeah,
and enjoy it together. So and also all that serves the purpose of feeling comfy, feeling connected somehow.
yes.
And I think that's why I brought the
Nice.
soup with me.
That's a nice approach. Yeah, definitely. And it's easy, fits the weather.
Yeah. And it's easy to make.
Yeah, most importantly.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
that's an important thing. Uh, at least for me, comfort food doesn't need to be a high class dish.
It
Or
shouldn't.
something very crazy and very maybe even expensive to make or hard to make or takes long. I think for a lot of people, it's also the things their grandparents, their grandmas did,
Yeah.
which in traditional German cuisine sometimes takes days of preparation.
Not just in the German cuisine.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's in every cuisine.
Yeah,
that we know
exactly.
it.
But those are great too.
Yeah.
But I think it's also the simple dishes somehow.
Yeah.
Um, that you maybe even have more frequently in your past, that you connect with your family somehow because every now and then you had that dish.
Yeah. Definitely. I agree.
Yeah. And for me, that's also why I picked this soup because um, not in the version I brought it with me today was not as definitely not a spicy pumpkin soup because my mother really doesn't like spices and hot things and so
Yeah.
on. And it was, I think, more German back then. Um, not with coconut milk like I do it, but more with cream, so
Cream.
the German way,
Yeah.
and salt, pepper, and probably that's it. Maybe a bit
Yeah.
nutmeg, but still it was a warm, good food
Nice.
that I really look forward to when my mother said, "Okay, this evening we have some pumpkin soup."
Awesome. I'm
Yeah.
looking forward.
Yeah.
I think this resonates with me because one of the reasons why I picked macarona bechamel or bechamel pasta is because it's that thing that makes you come home from your long school day
Mm.
happy, not sad and upset because of school, because you will have macaroni bechamel over the dinner. It's that feeling inside of you that makes you run towards home because you will have the best meal ever this week. So that specific meal that mama, this is what I call my mama, used to make it once a week,
Oh,
sometimes
yeah.
not more than once a week because it also takes a lot of effort and she's a working mom.
Ah,
That one day, oh my god, it was the best day in the week. And we always sneak to the kitchen to get some of the bechamel sauce
oh yeah, that's great.
and the boiled pasta and then dip it together. And like we will take one of the penne pasta
Mhm.
that is already boiled and cooked, and then we dip it in the bechamel sauce and then eat it whenever my mom is cooking. So she's not like looking and
Mhm.
we're coming from behind and sneaking one and then get out.
Yeah.
And I'm just retrieving all these memories
Yeah, great.
because we're mentioning that dish. So look at how it is connecting memories with your families and your past and everything all together just because we're talking about one meal, one recipe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's crazy somehow. It's just not it's not just, but it's a meal somehow. But there's so
Yeah.
much more to it. It's just not just that it's nutritious and tastes well, but it's so much more, so much somehow emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even for you, I, f- I think it's crazy that it's that your mom did it or your mama
Yeah.
how it's
Yeah.
pronounced, did it once per week. That's
Yeah. Sometimes, yeah, once per week if she can.
yeah.
Because she will go back on Thursday. like one hint, a side note. In Egypt, we don't have Saturdays and Sundays as our weekends. It's
Okay.
Fridays and Saturdays.
Oh,
So for us, Thursdays are like Fridays here. You know,
yeah,
the
okay.
night before
Yeah,
night before the weekend. So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like a half day weekend. This is how we consider it.
Okay, for instance.
So she comes back every Thursday if she can, and she prepares this dish
Mhm.
specifically. So we know that on Thursday we will have a macaroni bechamel. And this is this is the perfect day. This is the perfect setup. This brings us to another question.
Yeah.
Maybe you can also tell us more about how can you make this dish?
Sure, sure.
Does it take a lot of ingredients, time?
Actually, there are quite a few ingredients, but a lot of them are spices.
Okay.
But the main ingredients, of course, is pumpkin, the Hokkaido pumpkin, and then coconut milk, some some onions, some garlic, some ginger,
Mhm.
and yeah, there are a few ways to do it. You can do it in the pan with the onions and the garlic. You could also do the pumpkin and the onions and the garlic in the oven and have a lot of oil on it and some seasoning, and in the end put it in a blender, and then you can put it in a pot,
Okay.
and then the seasoning starts. So you have nutmeg, of course,
Tasty.
complementing the pumpkin perfectly. Cumin, turmeric, salt and pepper, of course.
Yeah.
Um, but especially because of or due to the ginger and garlic and also the some chili, a bit of chili, not too much.
Yeah.
Because
Optional.
and altogether it's a really thick, creamy texture, and a spicy, intense, and very savory
Yeah.
flavor. But also due to the pumpkin and the coconut milk, there's a hint of sweetness.
Yeah.
So it's this mixture of savory and sweetness um, that really makes it very, very intense and interesting. And because it's a soup and it's hot, it's also really good for this weather.
Actually, we do have a similar soup,
Ah, great.
but it's not made with pumpkin. It's made with lentil. So we have lentil soup.
Yeah.
It might be also familiar here.
Like
It,
dal or something.
lentil soup. I don't know.
Yeah.
We make it in not in this like this specific way,
Mhm.
but maybe in a similar way, but it gives us the same result. Like you blend some of the veggies together, and then you'll have like a thick soup in the end. And
Oh, yeah.
and we usually cook it in the winter time. It gives us warmth. You know what? It's not just because we're having a conversation about food and comfort food, but our cuisine is very rich. Yeah, not just the Egyptian cuisine, but the Middle Eastern cuisine
Yeah,
in general. It's
sure.
very rich, full of spices, infusion of flavors from here and there, from everywhere.
Yeah.
Because also some of the Middle Eastern parts were colonized for a very long time. So you will have an infusion of flavors. Some were from France, other from Italy, from England. So in one dish, you can taste different countries. It's phenomenal and
Yeah.
it's very unique. This is what I like about our cuisine because it's different. It's not like you're from Egypt, you only do Oriental stuff. It's no, we do we do a lot of other recipes and dishes from all over the world combined in one dish. So you cannot really tell if it's Egyptian or Italian or anything. So, and if we're looking at this dish today, the macaroni bechamel
Mm.
or the bechamel pasta, you might see that it's a bit similar to lasagna, for example, but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's not lasagna, and maybe the ingredients and the making and the how to is similar, yes, but the taste is not similar. Even though the lasagna is also like it's kind of a pasta
Mm-hmm.
cooked
Yeah.
in a different way, but and the penne pasta is the same, but no, you will at the end you will not have the same taste of both dishes together because we have our own touch, we have our own uniqueness making this.
Yeah.
It's
The spices, or it's the making, or
I don't know.
altogether?
I don't know. Maybe you will try it and see, but
Yeah.
maybe the spice is the making itself.
Mm.
We have a spirit, and
Yeah.
yeah, and we convey the spirit into our dishes.
Yeah.
This is why I don't know if you've ever tasted any Oriental dishes or Arabic dishes before, but if you're tasting any of them, you will feel again a fusion of flavors. It's
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, you'll feel happy, you know, that you want to dance while you're eating. It's it gives you
Like,
yeah, it is great. It's and not because I'm representing it here. It's I'm very like I'm being biased, but it's it's if I'm looking at it from a third perspective, and now I'm living here in Europe, not just Germany. I'm living in Europe, and I've tried some other cuisines in Spain and in other countries, and I can tell like other countries also offer some very very tasty and phenomenal dishes. However, maybe we have the uniqueness of gathering and combining all those cultures together, maybe because of the history and
mm.
it's a long story, but
It is that.
interesting. But this
Yeah.
is actually the origin of the dish itself,
Mm.
because bechamel is not purely Egyptian. Bechamel is originally a French sauce,
Yeah.
and
You
it's
can
one of
hear
the
it.
yeah, and it's even the pronunciation, it's bechamel,
Yeah.
but it's and it's also one of the most famous five sauces in France. This is also an info, but um and I've also heard that it was created by French chefs who were serving the rulers in Egypt at that time.
Ah, okay.
So it's yeah, it also holds an important historical part. Yeah. So yeah, it was originated in that way somewhere in the middle of the 19th century, as far as I remember. Some French chefs, they were trying to create something for the Khedive ruler thing,
Mm-hmm.
and they created that dish combining minced meat with penne pasta, bechamel sauce from their origin from
Yeah.
France, and then put it in the oven, and voila, you have a very tasty dish.
But that also shows that food has a history somehow, and that it is not static but evolves all the time. I mean, your food was invented in the 18th century, or
Somewhere in the 18th,
yeah,
19th. I don't
yeah,
know.
exactly.
It doesn't
But
matter.
I think back then it was not a totally different food, but it had other hints and other flavors somehow. And I think that's very interesting that food is not static somehow, but evolves due to other cultural influences, due to the fact that cuisines are merged, that there are different influences. Like in my example with a soup, my mother would do it, or my grandmother would do it with cream, and
Yeah.
I'm doing it with coconut milk because that's the way you do it from my point of view somehow, and it tastes better, I think.
Yeah.
Um, and it's definitely nothing typically European or even German, this coconut milk. So I think that's a really great thing that all the cuisines have different influences and that they evolve. I think it would be a bit boring if food always stayed the
It
same.
will.
So that food is also experimental somehow and just changes.
Yeah, because you're in the kitchen and you find that spice and you want to try it
Yeah.
in that dish, so maybe it will taste good.
I mean, I tried a lot.
Yeah.
A lot failed. Ask
Everyone.
my wife. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're pretty experimental sometimes, but okay.
that's
But
natural.
yeah, but there are also good things. Yeah,
Yeah. So let's wrap up our podcast for today.
yeah.
Yeah. So maybe you can tell me more about your takeaways.
It was very interesting to hear about the Egyptian cuisine. I mean, you could have talked about it a lot more, I guess. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure.
I
mean,
need to
this
have
was,
another podcast to talk about it.
yeah, I'm totally open for it. It was very interesting to that it's also about, or comfort food is also about feeling home or a connection to home. And it's great to hear that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And you're lucky because you're home. I'm
Yeah.
not. Yeah, but this makes me somehow feel like home because
Right.
I'm cooking my favorite meal. So, yep. So, if you're interested to know more about our dishes, maybe you can come pay a visit to our Cocoa Center. That will be definitely a tasteful event, and we will be waiting for you all.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Das war eine neue Folge von Coco Cooking Connects. Schön, dass ihr dabei wart.
Wir hoffen, ihr nehmt nicht nur Appetit mit, sondern auch neue Perspektiven und Geschichten.
Ihr wollt selbst Teil von Coco werden? Vielleicht mal als Cooking Couple mitkochen oder einfach bei einem unserer Events dabei sein oder uns bei der Podcastaufnahme unterstützen?
Dann schaut unbedingt auf unserer Website oder unseren Social Media Kanälen vorbei. Dort findet ihr alle Infos zu unseren nächsten Cooking Events und wie ihr mitmachen könnt.
Alle Infos findet ihr in den Shownotes. Ob Zuhörerin, Köchin oder einfach nur neugierig, bei Coco ist Platz für alle.
Danke fürs Zuhören,
Und bis zum nächsten Mal bei Coco Cooking Connects.
dem Podcast, der Menschen an einem Tisch bringt.
Coco ist eine Produktion von Kultur Grenzenlos e.V. in Zusammenarbeit mit dem BAMF. Konzept und Moderation Patricia und Ann-Christine. Schnitt und Ton Ann-Christine. Ein großer Dank geht an Franzi Schneider für Design und Illustration und an weitere ehrenamtliche helfende Hände.